Hey there, how's it going, Ann Arbor? Once again, welcome back to the Sporting Jews. I'm Mark Blitz. With me, as always, Dave the Goose Gottesman, Sam the Man Linsky, and two special guests tonight, Stephen Geller and Jared Silver, and we welcome them both. Thank you. Welcome to the Sporting Jews.
Thanks for coming down, guys.
Nice to be here.
Happy to be here.
Great. I'm glad you guys can make it. We got lots of stuff to talk about in the world of sports today. The mass media has deemed this week on Judgment Day, so we will give you our judgments on what's going to happen, as well will you. And you can call us at 647-2641. Call anytime during the show. We're on until 12, and we'll take your calls, talk about anything you want to. But we got lots to talk about today. Coming at you live, 9th floor South Quad. And the first thing we got going on, the thing that's on everyone's mind, if there wasn't enough hype for the Michigan State game, certainly is enough now, and that's, of course, Michigan down to Happy Valley. And, well, make it or break a game, I guess.
Make it or break it is right. By far the biggest sporting event the University of Michigan has seen since the national championship basketball game against North Carolina. I mean, you can feel the excitement brimming through this campus. People, it's all they're talking about, and I don't know, it's really going to be some kind of game. We got a real shot going into this game, and I've been able to say that going into big games because we haven't really played in the big games since I've been at school here. So I'm reveling in it. Go Blue, baby.
It's Blues all over Penn State this week. I think Penn State's been an overrated team all year. They really haven't played any top-notch competition, with the exception of Ohio State, and I think they're an overrated team as well.
And I feel that Michigan's defense is going to be the difference in this game.
As it always is.
I mean, you have to say so. I mean, this defense hasn't given up a point in the fourth quarter all year. You know, they're rock solid.
They haven't given up a touchdown in the second half all year.
I would say the greatest college secondary in the history of modern-day college football. They're just unbelievable.
We'll talk about another great secondary when we talk about North Carolina. But this guy, Mike McQuarrie, is unproven, and he's going to throw the ball in the direction of Charles Woodson. He's in trouble. He's
in big trouble. Half the field's cut off. But back to your Ohio State comment, Goose. I'll have to say from the football I've seen this year, Ohio State looks like the best team in the Big Ten. They certainly have the best offense in the Big Ten. But defense just laid down in the fourth quarter against Penn State.
I'd have to agree with Sam. Ohio State.
Other than that, they have such firepower. I mean, if we had a receiver, like one of their top 3 receivers, we'd be an unstoppable team. But it's a factor there on offense. They lose Galloway, they get Glenn. They lose Glenn, they get Boston.
They have a great offense.
Dean Miller comes out of nowhere.
Right. But the games now, this late in the year, it comes down to defense. And I don't think Ohio State has a defense to take care of Michigan later in the year. Or any other teams right now.
Let's hope so. Not to be a homer, but let's hope so.
If Michigan comes into that game undefeated, the revenge factor has to be on everyone's mind.
There might be a little bit of burning and looting if we go into that game undefeated and beat Ohio State. That's all I got to say. So, Ann Arbor business owners, watch yourself. We don't condone any of that kind of stuff here. But
no, not in the Sporting Jews.
Some mean stuff might be going on.
We might be leading the way in the riots and all, but we don't condone any of that. I think Ohio State was definitely a choke job against Penn State. They had the game won. They choked. You still don't know how good of a team they are because that was really their only challenge of the year. Michigan State, probably the most overrated team we've ever seen. No, they're not good at all.
Northwestern debacle.
Well, what do you think? 647-2641. Give us a call. Lots of stuff to talk about, like we said, Michigan, Penn State. And with us, Steve Bubba Geller, a man on the spot last night at the season opener or the exhibition opener for the Michigan Michigan basketball game against Athletes in Action. And, wow.
I have to say, Mark, I was unimpressed by the performance last night. It was really no change from last season. The team came out fairly stale. I thought Coach Ellerby said they took this more as a practice game, and he was happy with the performance. They got to see, it was good to get back in the game situation, but I thought that nothing changed, really. Same mistakes down the stretch, trailer, missing key free throws. And really, the way they, when we started here 4 years ago, when I started here, it was supposed to be the Fab 5-2. Nothing panned out. Taylor's in the NBA now, and nothing's come from it.
Gerard Ward was the #1 high school player in America.
Yeah, he's really turned out as a great college player. Huh? He and Felipe Lopez should be lottery picks this year.
Yeah, you might see them on Athletes in Action in a couple years too, but they gotta start. They gotta get religious.
Smoking crack that year, taking those
We don't condone smoking crack on the Sporting Jews.
We certainly do not.
We certainly do not, and that's where I'll leave it at that. Trust me.
The real question, though, Steve, I feel is, were you inspired by the message the Athletes in Action tried to bring to Ann Arbor?
Was I inspired? I was inspired by their three-point shooting more than their message.
Really?
I think it was something like 15 from 29 from three-point range. They were just firing away all night. So I'd have to say I was more inspired by their shooting than by their message.
I mean, message whoever schedules our basketball games. Enough of this. If these people want to come here and spread their message, Tell them to go on tour with Bill McCartney and go with the Promise Keepers. You know, we want to play like a legitimate team. We'll play like, you know, the Yugoslavian national team or somebody like that.
I think they're coming next week, actually. Russian select team.
And as Jews, we definitely do not support the Promise Keepers.
Well, I tell you, yeah, we are branching
one-
off today in the Sporting Jews. Who knows what's going to come up next? All kinds of crazy stuff going on.
I'd say the one thing that positive that did come out of that game, though, was about Conlon. While he did get injured in the fourth quarter, he really played very well, very well. He came out firing from three-point range, knocking down his shots, and really is playing a fantastic point guard leading the team. It's I think it's going to be a loss that he's out for the next 3 to 4 weeks.
How did Robbie Reed
Yeah,
look?
that's what I want to know.
Robbie Reed looked a bit tentative, which is expected, though he hasn't played basketball in 2 years since he's been on his mission in
He's
Greece.
gritty, though, folks.
I
He's a gritty guy.
think he's
He
upset,
is.
folks, that his father wasn't chosen for the interim coaching job.
He didn't deserve the job.
Such is life.
I don't know. Would you want? I'm not sure. Would you want Daddy looking over your shoulder as a?
I mean, that was a
I mean, there's
farce.
been a lot of father-son coaching combinations that have worked.
Well, I don't know if Pat Knight worked out
He
there in
prospered at
Indiana.
BYU with his dad looking over his shoulder.
I don't know if it was really. I think it was more the gossip thing that no one really
Gospel?
knew. No,
Oh,
gossip. We're
I'm
off
sorry, I'm
to
still
that
hung up on
action
this
now.
on the Promise Keepers.
You know,
thing. I
nobody
can't
really
get
knows
over
what
it.
the chances of Reed getting the head coaching job were. So
Yeah,
it's
I
all
think we
speculation.
absolutely made the correct move by hiring Ellerby as an
I
interim
agree.
coach. This is going to be a
You're gonna have the
who's
who's
who of candidates next year vying for this job. And now on the subject of basketball, just one final message. Wouldn't this team be special with Albert White, Jared?
Oh,
They
Albert
certainly-
White is going to show the folks in Michigan that they really lost a great player. He's going to
I agree.
Missouri. He's going to be absolutely outstanding.
I
He's showed
agree.
a lot of promise.
You know, if David Bowens can be reinstated to play
Oh.
football after what happened with that incident, puppies and
What
whatnot.
did happen with that? It wasn't really known.
Charles Woodson and David Bowens are known animal thieves.
I
Animal
don't want to
thieves?
associate Charles Woodson with this. I really have no proof of it, but
Stealing animals?
I've heard from various sources around town that a puppy Rottweiler was briefly stolen last year. And
Oh,
This was
boy.
the main problem
I've heard
behind
that Charles Woodson
Bowen.
is almost as adept at swiping passes as he is swiping puppies.
I love you, Charles Woodson.
We do not
I love you,
condone
guys.
animal
Best
stealing.
defensive player, best
steals
player in college
puppies?
football. Period. You deserve the Heisman.
Charles, you're beautiful. Keep on shutting down the opposing receivers.
Give me back my dog.
I think you're a good American. But Debo, if you really did steal that puppy, buddy, you got to look at yourself in the mirror every day because
You got to live with it. We
I've
don't.
done a lot of bad stuff in my life.
If you're missing your pet, give us a call at 647-2641. We might have some leads for you.
That's right.
We
Dog
got.
was returned incidentally, I feel we should say.
Okay, thank you. Well, we'll be talking about the Heisman race also in the show today. The other big football game this weekend, to shift gears for a sec, the FSU North Carolina game. I think, in my opinion, I think that pales in comparison to the real game at hand, Michigan Penn State.
I disagree. I disagree. I think that
Yeah, we're biased. We don't condone biasness on the Sporting Jews, but I am biased myself because I'm a hypocrite.
I think that Florida State really could be the potential barrier to Michigan actually having a chance to split the national title.
Sorry to interrupt you. We have a caller.
Do we have a caller online there?
Yeah,
How's it going?
what's going on?
Hey.
I got to ask your opinion, and I got to ask why you think so.
Okay.
Do you think should be number one following the games this weekend? Do you think Nebraska maintains it, or do you think it becomes the winner of Michigan, Penn State, or the winner of Florida State, North Carolina?
You know, I would have to say that unless Nebraska stumbles at a quality Missouri team, the last decent team they're going to play in their conference, which is,
Before
by the
the Big
way,
12
the
champion.
worst conference in America.
I agree.
I think Nebraska's probably going to remain number one, and who's ever more impressive out of the two winners of the two big games will move up to number two, and so on.
That's bullshit, man.
Florida State is more likely to be number one.
do you disagree with me, or do you just...
No, I don't disagree.
Thanks for your call, buddy. We don't
Bullshit.
condone swearing on the
This
Sporting
Nebraska
Jews
team
show.
doesn't play anyone, and they just sit atop number one because they beat some crap Washington team at the beginning of the season.
You tell me after the Rose Bowl whether Washington's crap.
Yeah.
Brock Hewitt was hurt in that game, so that wasn't a fair indication. But, I mean, Nebraska's done everything they were supposed to do. I mean, they play a patsy schedule, but you got to respect the fact that they went to go play out Washington. And I
Nebraska's
hate
just
Nebraska.
a stable of super athletes.
Let me
remember
tell you
that
something.
yesterday.
Year out.
The
They
Big
went to
Ten
the
is by
Big Ten.
far the best conference in college football. We can all
Tell
agree
that
on
to the
that.
guys down south in the SEC. Might disagree.
I have to say that pending the outcome of the Nebraska game, if they struggle against Missouri, I think it's going to come down to the winner of the Michigan-Penn State game, regardless of what the other game happens. I think that's probably the best way of knowing. I think those are probably the two best teams in the country. And maybe there is a sense of bias in my tone. I don't know. But I really do think that these are the two best teams. I think Nebraska still hasn't been proven. I think they beat, Washington. They're a good team and all, but that was their only challenge. That was earlier in the year. I want to see them go up against a big team, and I want to see all these teams go up against big teams. I'm curious to see what happens this weekend. I think the winner of Michigan Penn State should be number 1.
Yeah.
And don't you think that all this really expresses the need for a tournament?
Yes.
In the college
No
to
question.
answer all the questions?
No question.
Jared, you're always just so apropos with that. I was just going to come up with that,
Thanks for your call.
Try, Thanks, buddy.
647-2641 and join in on the fun. And boy, are we having fun in the Sporting Juice today. Our special guests today, Jared Silver and Stephen Geller, Bubba as we call him today. And if you don't know Stephen, you might know his dad. He does some work for the Athletes in Action. Actually, he goes out preaching for them. And actually, I think we might have him. I think we might have him on tape. Dave, can you play that for us? We can show Steve's dad in action. He was here last night, working with the. Here he is. Oh, there he is.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. In my heart, because I'm not talking from my head. More than that, it'll break the curse off of you. Why? It's a step of faith.
It sounds a
If
little
you'll do
down
it,
right now.
God will honor it. Praise God. Thank you, Lord. Be back in just a moment.
We'll get back to that a little bit later. Trust me, you don't want to miss him in action. That's one of the reasons why Athletes in Action were victorious last night. I mean, when you have Jesus on your side, who knows what happens. 647-2641. That's the number.
So what about this Florida State UNC? Who do you like? What do you think the keys to victory for either team would be?
For Florida State, North Carolina, I think once again, I don't know if North Carolina's been had a real challenge yet. I think that they're going to have to match points for points with Florida State. If Florida State starts scoring on them, I don't know if they have the firepower. North Carolina's got a good defense, but the same holds true with Michigan. Penn State starts scoring on them, they're going to have to score back, and that's where we might be in trouble. North Carolina's going to have to do the same thing.
I see two keys to this game. One is the passing of the much-improved Thad Busby against the excellent, outstanding North Carolina secondary and Dre Bly, one of the best cover corners to come to college football in a long time. And also, if North Carolina can stand the pressure of playing in such a huge game.
I agree. You have to take into account that Florida State, this is all hat to them,
Right.
Bobby Bowden will have them prepared. You're sure of that. And North Carolina really hasn't had that experience going in. I think it is a big help that they're playing at home, but at the same time, you have a big game on TV, national television, and they simply don't have the experience.
And watch out for Florida State's newly found running game. They found it in the last 2 weeks. Travis Minor from the same school as Warwick Dunn. Man is a star.
I think he's going to have a hard time running against that the front seven of Carolina. They're much improved this year with Greg Ellis leading the way.
If
He's a
FSU
monster.
is
He's a
able
monster.
is able to throw the ball, then everything's going to fall
Well,
into place.
they will establish the pass, but if they can't, if Carolina's cornerbacks, their defensive backfield can run up on Busby, the game's over. Carolina's got it in the bag.
I mean, in the bag.
With their defense.
We have to understand
The
it.
defense wins games.
Do you feel FSU's defense is any less than North Carolina's defense? FSU's defense is absurd. Sam Coward, Darrell Bush, Andre Wadsworth. I think FSU's defense is certainly on par with North Carolina's. The case could even be made that they're better.
And we're not biased because we're from Florida.
I hate FSU. The Gators went down real hard last week. Our two teams are in shambles right now. And all the state of Florida really has is FSU. And I kind of like to see them lose this week, but I know too much about them, and they got a lot of big game players. I feel FSU's going to win this game.
Too much
Close.
talent on both sides of the ball.
Probably 6-point victory. Around
Close game in Chapel Hill.
A little bit close, but I don't think Oscar Davenport has certainly never played in a game like this. He's never had those guys beating him up and chasing him down like Wadsworth and is Orpheus Roy still play there? I love that name.
Greg Spires.
Greg Spires. They're
He's
too
going to
much.
get beaten up.
I think what it comes down to, once again, you reiterated the point, is its experience. When it gets down to the fourth quarter, Florida State is used to these big games. Bowden will have his teams prepared. Thad Busby will not choke down the stretch. And Florida State, will be victorious.
And then we got real problems on our hands because Florida is not beating Florida State this year.
And North Carolina will be
No. And if North Carolina wins this game, it's even more problems for Michigan's national championship hopes. We're really looking at, if Michigan can go through the season undefeated, I feel we're looking at a split national championship. But at this point,
with an impressive win over Washington.
We'll take it. So if FSU, I feel FSU will win this game, which is good for our hopes because North Carolina's not going to lose again. But I don't see Florida beating FSU this year, so it's going to throw a little
Florida's choked
a monkey into the
Florida's
ring.
choked a lot this season. They've gone way downhill. That game last week in Jacksonville just proved that they're just not the best team in the nation.
I mean, they're certainly not. I believe I was on record on the show stating that I thought they were the best team in the country, but going into this year, the expectations weren't that high. They had a brand new quarterback, they lost their receivers, and they beat Tennessee, so expectations rose, but they really came back down to earth, and Spurs had to eat some humble pie, which I'm sure makes a lot of people happy. Me, not one of them. But want to move on to a different topic now?
Well, sure. I mean, we could talk about Florida State all day. That exciting group of guys. But I'll get my 2 cents worth. I like Florida State in this game for what we've been talking about, the experience factor. North Carolina, I don't see that powder blue going very far. Like I said, Bobby Bowden, he's a good, big game coach. He's coached in the biggest games, in college football history, and this is not even as big as the ones that he's been in. So I like Florida State, not in a rout, but soundly. I think they're going to show North Carolina what college football, big-time college football is all about. Whew. Joining on the fun, 647-2641. Call in, talk about whatever you'd like, preferably sports. If you got your favorite professional team, college team, whatever, ask us how they're doing, what you think. The NFL matchups coming up this week, we'll talk about that later. Call up, talk about your favorite team, 647-2641. And talking about the NFL, we could talk about any number of games coming up. And
how about those Lions?
How about those Lions? For all you Lions fans out
They
there.
should not be in the NFL. Scott Mitchell,
There's been a call.
the third-string quarterback at best. He ceases to amaze me with his. Next week, every week it's worse.
This is the voice of Stephen Geller, if you didn't know. So if you're in there.
I feel the Lions should look at bringing in Kelly Holcomb, the third-string quarterback from the Indianapolis Colts.
Can they steal him like that?
I think this
Can they
Kelly
steal him like?
Kelly Holcomb has a real future in this league. He's got a live arm. He's a tough guy. Like I was real impressed by his performance on Sunday against the vaunted Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense.
Getting back to the Lions, I can't imagine how it must feel to be Barry Sanders, to be that good, and be told that the system's going to change.
I mean, it's not the coach.
It's the
Bobby
same-
Ross
it's
is
the
a
same
quality.
story.
Wait a minute. Now, before you go on and say that Bobby Ross, it's not the coach or whatever, I could have sworn that Wayne Fonts is still in the booth making calls out there, and Bobby Ross is just a charade.
Well, we are in the second half of the season.
Scott
If
Mitchell
everybody
passing
remembers.
from his knees.
Scott Mitchell
He
is
thinks he's Brett Favre. Well, the thing is, and we can bring in the Giants here because Bubba Geller's here, an avid New York football Giant fan. They got a new coach in. They were just as bad as the Lions last year. They can bring in a new coach. They're in playoff contention right now. They don't have nearly the talent the Lions do.
Danny Cannell.
They don't have the players. They don't have Danny Cannell. He's a joke.
Cannell has stepped up. Dave Brown is not an NFL quarterback. He should join Mitchell and play in arena ball.
It's an exciting football in arena football.
I agree. It is very exciting football, but it's
I don't know what's going on in arena
NFL
football.
I think that Danny Cannell has surprised everybody in New York and throughout the NFL with his play. It was a fresh guy back there, and really he stepped up and just played within himself, which is
Right.
important.
Very calm.
I think
They're all over the
everywhere. Can't get enough of
I
them.
mean, Jed, when you played
Oh,
college
boy.
football, would you believe he'd be this good?
I've had my fair share of Florida.
Growing up in high school at Miami Westminster, and I didn't think he was going to be this good of a pro quarterback, but he's coming in and he's filled in admirably for Dave Brown. The Giants are winning.
I think anyone could come in and fill in for Dave Brown. My goodness.
Let's talk about the Giants and the
Let's
Jets.
talk about the tension in this room right now between the two Michiganders and the Floridians, because I think it's got to be addressed.
Oh, there's no tension whatsoever. We're all having a great time on the Sporting News today.
Love each other.
Come in and join the fun. We're going to have a big Sporting Juice hug at the end of the show. 647-2641. Call in and we'll feel your energy. Give us a big hug.
You know what? I just want to say one thing more.
Sam?
I feel the Giants are successful because Jim Fossil was a visor. It's noted that head coaches that wear visors are offensive geniuses.
Look at Spurrier.
Oh, God.
It's an interesting
That's known as
take.
the Samuel
That's a
Lister
very
divisor
interesting take.
theory.
Divisor theory.
Divisor theory.
We're going to get one of those. We're going to get one of them visors.
You want to talk fight? Big fight on Saturday.
Oh, boy. Another fix coming up Saturday. Michael Moore and Vander Holyfield go in the what is it called? The ring square circle.
Going toe to toe.
Whatever. I don't know if they're going to lose any body parts in this one, but
Did anyone happen to catch the Mike Tyson interview on Prime?
no, I didn't. But those are some nice shoes you're wearing. Anyway, you had a nice view of them. No, I think we're going to talk about the fight for a second. I think boxing is going downhill, and the fact that this is probably their marquee matchup right now, Moore Holyfield too, doesn't say much for the sport.
I agree with you. At this point, I root for Holyfield because he's pretty much the only person left.
He's really saving boxing right now.
It's unbelievable. When Mike Tyson went to jail for allegedly raping...
allegedly, mind you.
But that's not true. We don't condone rape.
We don't, none of that.
But really, when that happened, boxing has gone down the tubes, and
Boxing's been down for a long time. Especially heavyweight boxing's been down for a while.
Can bring interest back to
If
boxing.
Roy Jones Jr.
Roy
fights
Jones-
Evander Holyfield,
I agree with that.
would save boxing.
Roy Jones.
Yeah, he is thinking about moving up.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's trying to pull a Thomas Hearns.
Let me tell you something.
Roy Jones.
Roy Jones.
Moving up. He's definitely the best fighter that we've seen in a long time.
He's tough.
Chiseled out of granite.
Oh,
He ripped Montel Griffin in that second
He
fight.
just destroyed him. I mean, and he said he was going to save boxing in the post-fight press conference.
I gotta tell you who saved
As well as
boxing
well.
is, and everyone you may hate him, you think he's crooked or whatever. Don King saved boxing, as crooked as you may think he is,
How do you figure?
I think Don King was the
because he's the ultimate promoter.
Yes, you know the beautiful thing about this fight on Saturday is that Don King promotes neither fighter. No corruption.
When was the last time you saw a pay-per-view event without Don King?
Yeah, you can't have pay-per-view boxing without Don King. You can't have boxing right now with Don King. I really think so.
He's a businessman.
He's a shrewd businessman. He's doing great.
Fantastically.
Seriously.
And
In this,
he's probably the only thing keeping boxing.
hey, in this world today, anything goes as long as you don't get caught.
So what if you
Don King is saving boxing.
That's cool.
Knowing
That's very
that
scary.
Michael Moore has already beaten Tyson, who do you guys like in this fight?
More beat Holyfield.
More
beat
beat.
Holyfield.
Right.
I do like.
I like Holyfield.
I like to pick the homegrown product in Michael Moore, but I'm going with Holyfield.
Unless
Much better
they
fighter.
unless they decide to just have Moore win this one, so there can be a part 3, which will boost the ratings.
Could be big.
Dave, speaking of homegrown talent, I think with the Sporting Juice should give a shout out to James Lights Out Tony, Ann Arbor's own, frequent visitor to One-on-One Athletic Club, and a fine gentleman and a fine American.
A few years ago, I went on a cruise with James Lights Out Tony. Went swimming with him in the ocean, in the pool.
How proud you must be.
Yeah, he was a psychopath. He was a crazy guy. But enough about that guy. This is an interesting camera angle. Hi out there. This is our globe. 647-2641. Give us a call. What do you think about what's going on in sports? Before we continue, I'm going to have to give a shout out to the upcoming shows you can catch on WOLV. The Shamari and Sean O'Neill show. Check that out. It's good stuff. The Dish, where you can catch up on all your soap opera information. I know that Sporting Jews are avid soap opera fans. Michigan Football 97 with Rob Rena as Dave Rosenbluth. I believe John Black involved in that too. I could be wrong. But that's a great show. Check it out. You'll get the insight as Rob Rena brings it to you, inside information. The Night Spotlight. I know if you're watching the Sporting News right now, that means you don't really have a date. So check out Night Spotlight. Maybe they can fix you up with someone. They got cheerleaders on. You call up and ask them out. And the Nightly News. They'll bring you what's going on in the world today, in case the Sporting News doesn't tell you enough.
Looks like we have a caller.
Yes.
We have a caller.
Bring him.
Let's hear it.
All right, caller. How you doing today?
How you guys doing today?
Not bad. Thanks for calling.
Thanks. How do you feel about the Jets?
Excuse me, didn't hear you. Say that again for us. Jets? Giants?
All right, you're going to maybe have to give us a call back if you're cut off.
Cruel right there. It's like waiting.
If you hear us right now, give us a call back. Maybe the phone lines got cut off and whatnot. We'll fix that soon. But no, I don't know what we think about the
Yeah. Moving right along.
Moving very right along. The NBA kicked off last week. They're starting to get into it. 2 games into it now, and well, before we get into basketball,
Hello?
Carl, you there now?
You there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're there.
All
What's
right.
up? I'm calling about the Jets.
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 The Jets?
Yeah.
They're on their way to the playoffs. I think they won 1 game last year. It's probably over someone like the, New Orleans Saints or someone bad
Two
like
words
that.
for you. Bill
Big-
Parcells.
Big tuna.
Bill Parcells has come in there and turned that team around.
Yo, just give me the damn ball.
Whoa! Give him the damn
The
ball!
worst thing the worst thing the New York Football Giants have done is let Parcells go after he led them to victory in Super Bowl 25.
You seem a bit bitter about that.
And I am a bit bitter about that. And you know, he proved it again. He did it with the Patriots, and now he's doing
he'll
it with
do
the
it again.
Jets.
And let's not forget
If not
that
this
Jets
year, it will
team-
happen within the
Let's
next
not forget
couple
this
years.
Jets team has a lot more talent. Has a lot more talent last year than a 1-15 club.
No question.
Rich
No question
Kotite,
about it.
worst coach in NFL history.
Couldn't get any
By
talent
far.
out of him.
Worst coach in
By
NFL.
far.
I agree.
Adrian Morel.
Yeah, it's
Wayne
all about Wayne Corbett.
Keyshawn.
Who played
They're
You're
definitely a playoff.
You're looking for a real-life Rudy. Look no further than Wayne Corbett.
So we're
And if
looking
you
at
don't
Super
believe in
Bowl
miracles,
champions
Best
Look at the New York
receiver in
Jets.
the NFL, Wayne Corbett.
What do you think about the Jets there, Carl? You think they're going to win the AFC East?
then. I think they are.
You
I
think they're
think
gonna
with
beat my
like
Dolphins
Marino
up
got a
there?
little banged up. Looks like obviously the Bills aren't what they used to be. The Colts just
This Alex
Sorry.
Van guy.
Colts are not even worth mentioning.
Dolphins.
What about the Dolphins?
Dolphins. Marino, he doesn't have it anymore. I think he got knocked around in Buffalo.
Very bold.
That's
He had his opportunity
You're
to
talking like
finish.
Jimmy Johnson now.
What's that?
You're talking like Jimmy
you're
Johnson.
talking nonsense is what you're talking about.
Hey, well, we both know what we're talking about, huh?
Dan Marino went out and did.
Malarkey,
We don't need to light a fire under Dan Marino.
Oh,
You
yeah?
know this game, you counted Jimmy Johnson's team out in a week like this, and everyone's picking the Jets this week. I'm going to tell you. I like
Watch
the
out for the Finns at home.
Watch out for the Fins.
Fins at home, huh?
They're tough.
Just like when they played the Bears. By the way,
We didn't see that.
what a great
They were
game that
ready to
was.
play on Sunday, the Dolphins, and when that game got pushed back to Monday, it threw everything off.
Yeah, because the Bears were so ready to play Monday night. They knew all along what was going to happen.
Bears won that
always
game for
ready.
Brian Cox. Brian Cox gave a fire and brimstone speech before that game. He was coming back to his own playing field. You know, there's this whole issue of sportsmanship being talked about right
Yeah.
now about him.
Oh, Brian,
I know
He
that.
wanted to win that game real bad.
You know, Sam, you
Brian
bring up
Cox is
a...
without question one of the nicest guys in the NFL.
He's good.
He's a beautiful
Sam, you bring up a... I assume you were watching the town meeting on ESPN, the sportsmanship stuff.
Actually,
A little
I
bit.
had class from 7 to 9:30. Unfortunately, I missed it more.
But Brian Cox was a center guy about the show, and that's one of the things we can talk about too: is sportsmanship and sports today, professional.
How do you guys
college.
feel about Brian Cox
Oh.
bidding in Buffalo?
Oh, you're still here.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm good.
How
How about the fingers?
Yeah, that's even
The
better.
double gun salute. He's a man. I mean, Brian Cox, he's his own man. He doesn't listen to anybody, and you don't have to like him, you know. But
You gotta respect his
He
talents
gets
on the
the job
field.
done.
He
He's a
believes in
great
what he believes
linebacker.
in,
Great
and
linebacker.
he doesn't.
I think Brian Cox should be behind bars.
Did you read his quotes in that Sports Illustrated article?
I didn't.
Before he goes out to play football, he walks to the locker room naked and imagines himself as a slave getting ready to be beaten. And he envisions the other team as a bunch of thieves raping his wife and beating his children.
As I said, he's a psychopath. He's a mental case.
Brian Cox should be in jail.
I mean, the guy's
not
not-
being paid to play professional football.
The guy's not
Bottom
living-
line.
I mean, can we send him up the river, please? He's ridiculous.
He is ridiculous, I agree.
We did not condone slavery and all that on the Sporting Jews.
Or walking naked around the men's locker.
No, actually.
I got another question for you.
Oh,
guys.
wow. Well, heck.
I'm kind of going to swing, 180 degrees. How do you feel about Chicago sports? I mean, Illinois is like 0-8. The Bears are, 2-7 or something. The Cubs are 0-14. I mean, the Blackhawks aren't any good. I mean, what's up?
Well, how about the Bulls? They haven't
Yeah, the
looked too
Bulls
hot in the
lost
first
their
couple
first
games
game.
either.
Still early.
Granted,
they are missing Scottie Pippen, but
Michael
No,
Jordan.
I'm not counting out the Bulls. I'm just talking about the
to
rest.
tie the game.
Cup tie of the game.
Watch out for Illinois basketball. Lon Kruger's a fine X's and O's coach. He has a fantastic recruiting class coming in this year.
Former Gator.
Former Gator. He led them to the Final Four, like never thought possible before.
Well, if
So,
they play us every game, they'll be undefeated. So
you know,
Hey, don't knock it.
tremendous logic.
Michigan basketball, college seems to think they're not going to have a good season. I tend to think that they might have a better season last year. I think they'll make the tournament this year.
God, let's hope so.
Defending NIT champs.
Wow.
Hopefully not going back.
When's the last time a team repeated the NIT championship?
God, we
Hey,
got.
Cashman, can you look that up back there? Can you check that out? 647-2641. Call us up. If you know the last time a team repeated the NIT championship, let us know.
Free pizza.
I'm gonna go with City College of New York.
Bubba's going to buy you an NYPD.
That's on Bubba Geller. The pizza's on you, Geller.
The pizza's on me. Whoever can get that answer to that, free pizza.
If you want to meet the Sporting Jews, or at least most of us, you catch us on Mondays at Ashley's, watching the game. Come hang out, we'll sign autographs, and we'll have a good time there. And if you call up and get this trivia question right, the last team to repeat an NIT, Steve Bubba Geller will buy you NYPD with ZD.
Yeah.
You will.
NYPD. Give NYPD the free plug, 'cause it's that good.
It's that good, and stay tuned next week. Join us next week. We'll start our Sporting Jews trivia session, win all kinds of great stuff. We got hard questions for you, but good stuff to make up for it. Maybe some ice cream, maybe some T-shirts, who knows. Also, check out our flyers on around your dorm rooms. They're pretty cool. 647-2641. Give us a call.
Yo, I got a real gambling joint right through my body right now. Let's pick our games.
No?
Oh, we're going for
Let's make some money for the folks out there.
Let's make some picks because, we don't condone gambling on the show, but we know a lot
I've been
of
on a super duper hot streak the past 2 weeks.
you know, let's be honest here. What's going on? Kansas City in the under last night. You know, a lot of people had that bet. If you got it at 3 points, you know, you pushed and won one, so you won your bet.
You got it at 2.5. You're
You got it at 2.5. You're a very happy man. You know, you can reverse 4-1, parlay 5-2 if that's what you like to do. So I don't know. Hello.
That's what they call on TV is dead air. The game's coming up. We can run the
Can we get the graphic,
If we run
please?
the spreads, we can check these games out next week. One game to note: the Lions, the mighty Detroit Lions,
Going to Jack Kent Cook Stadium.
the men who don the Honolulu blue and silver, are playing at Jack Kent Cook Park, and
Mark, the Lions should stay home. Washington is going to run all over them. Gus Frerott's going to be airing it out. The Lions have nothing.
interesting.
Washington has Terry Allen back. He was very impressive last week on the road. The Redskins are a super team at home. They'll stomp the Lions.
Sam?
I was fooled once earlier this year into thinking that the Bucks would defeat and cover against the Lions after the Lions had lost before. I'm not counting this team out. They're going to flat out win the game. Not only are they going to cover, they're going to win the game. Lions in an upset.
Woohoo!
I'm taking
Goose.
the Lions. It's their week to win.
It's about time.
It is about
Sam
time.
Linsky pandering to the Michigan viewers.
I'm telling you, I got burned. You play with fire, you get burned. I learned
You
my
don't mess with those Lions, I tell
They're
you.
like Rasputin.
Just when you think they're dead,
Barry's gonna.
boom! 647-2641. Goose, what do you want to say about the
Barry's
Lions?
gonna run all over.
Barry's going to have a
With,
field day against the Redskins.
Skins have no defensive line.
Skins have a weak
they
run
missed their
defense.
opportunity on signing Gilbert
Done.
today.
Past the
Can't
deadline.
play for any team the rest of the year.
They got Mark Butte, though.
Yes, they do.
You'll see Barry Sanders shaking that bootay all over the field, and they're going to run. I don't think that's going to be a blowout. I think the Lions are going to win, though. I think as bad as the Lions are, they have shown promise. It's all about Scott Mitchell, and I'm serious. If he plays a decent game, if he doesn't throw interceptions for touchdowns or interception in the red zone, they would have beaten Green Bay, and I guarantee that. If he plays within himself, doesn't try and make big plays, gives the ball to Barry, gets the ball out to the receivers, if the receivers get open, Lions are going to beat him.
Mark, I think the key was what you said a few sentences ago. The key is give the ball to Barry.
Yeah.
I don't know what the problem is. I agree with you. I think Wayne Fonts is running that team.
I really do think so.
Scott Mitchell throwing on first down, it should not be
I
allowed.
mean, they have the best receiver in the NFL also. You can't forget that. I mean,
He
Herman
didn't
Moore,
produce
Dale
it all on
Green,
Sunday
Yeah, but the
Sunday
problem is if
night.
you can't get the ball to the receiver, you don't give him a chance to score.
This is
You
bad.
know?
Bring back
Herman
Herman
Moore was
Moore.
completely
Us.
shut down by the cornerback.
Oh, we have a caller.
Caller.
Go ahead, caller. Hello?
How you doing?
Go ahead.
No.
Caller?
Hello?
Hey.
How you doing?
Are they going to ask me something or just...
Come on, ask
Oh,
me
I have a
something.
question.
Go ahead.
What? We want... Okay. We want...
Just spit it on out.
The free pizza.
All right.
Free pizza.
Hello?
What's your answer?
You know I own here.
Excuse me?
City College of New York.
Hello?
How you doing? You're on with the Sporting Jews. Do you have an answer for our trivia question?
I just want a free pizza.
Okay.
I get a free pizza.
You know,
Okay.
it is all about free pizza. You know what? Because you're obviously in need of free pizza. Every now and then, I'd say probably 3 times a week, companies come and do
College
presentations
of
at the
Long
business
Island,
school.
59.
Pardon me? Excuse me?
What was your
I was
answer?
going to tell you to go to the business school and get free pizza during the days. I'd do it. But
College of Long Island, 59.
Long Island, you know.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Do we really have to answer this question?
Yeah, so that was not the answer.
I think you might be right. I think we should give it to the guy for trying.
What the heck? You know what the heck? Have a pizza for Christ's sake.
Pizza for the Let's talk to the guy at the pizza before we know the answer.
Andy, can you look up the answer to our trivia question?
College of Long Island,
Our
59.
producer. We'll call you if you have the correct answer.
Wasn't the NIT like the major tournament?
It was.
Give-
Tournament. City College.
Give me your email.
Win it every year.
Yeah, every
They
year.
were a fine squad. I believe a gambling scandal brought them.
I agree with Bubba. City College.
Bubba. I agree.
Father's alma mater, City College. is a
Let's
basketball
Father,
power instead.
do we have that tape yet? Is it queued up? No.
That would not be my father.
Oh, never mind.
No, back to the pit.
That's for another time.
Back to the picture.
Thanks for your call.
Giants.
You'll get that pizza soon. Keep working hard and making up answers. City of what? What was that? College
City College of New York.
in 59?
54?
54?
69?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But we got other stuff to talk about.
What do you guys think about the New York Football Giants?
The New York Football Giants.
I think they're a veritable juggernaut right now.
Do you think that the fact that they're leading the division is a fair representation of the way they've been playing? I think a lot of people think that they're jokes and they're not really going to stay there.
They're about to
Cowboys-
get into the meat of their schedule.
people-
We'll soon see. They still have to play the Cowboys again.
People have to realize the Cowboys are not good. The Cowboys aren't going to just like turn it around, on a dime and just become like what they were again. It's just not going to happen. So
Sam, don't mean to interrupt you, but I think we have another caller.
it's all about college. Talk to me.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys that that last caller had. I thought that was your right answer for your question.
I said I thought we
Wow.
should give it to him.
Yeah, he said LIU 59. They repeated 56 to 59.
Wow.
Oh, 3 years running.
Who?
And
all right.
they were the last college dynasty.
All right,
See, Bubba.
so if somebody said they were
That
going to
could
give us free pizza, it was not me.
The free pizza will be awarded to this gentleman. We'll make arrangements with the station.
Do we still have him on the line, Andy?
Yeah.
He's still there?
He's over there.
Get his address.
Yeah, what dorm is he in?
Get his address. He will receive a free pizza this evening.
Is he in South Quad right now? Because he can come up right now.
We pull some juice in New York Pizza Depot, at least I do. Maybe we can start a little thing going where the winner of the trivia contest goes in and gets himself a free medium pizza.
And we know the Tuesday night delivery guy, too.
We do know the Tuesday night delivery guy. There's good guys that own the place. Mario and Dominic, fine people. They immigrated to this country, now they're making their lives. And they love the free advertising,
Since we're plugging, since we're in the mood to plug, I know that Bubba and Goose and I would like to send a shout out, as the kids say today, to Green's Hamburgers in Farmington Hills, Michigan. Farmington, Michigan.
Delicious burgers since 1934.
Delicious, and it's
Pure beef, 100% pure beef.
but you have to go at like 2 or 3 in the morning. That's when they're at their best.
Is it any shot at the jazz? That's the real question.
If it's like
fast food in America.
it's like Blimpie Burgers, only greasier. But don't go like during the day, because then you have to deal with it for the rest of the night, and that's painful. Trust me. And then you have your stomach's killing you. Wow. So we've strayed.
Tennessee minus 3 against the Giants?
Tennessee minus 3.
Minus 3 against the Giants.
Before we
Hold on.
I love Air McNair. I love that guy. The man can play.
And he's really
fantastic
been coming
football.
into his own the past few weeks.
Yeah, I think the greatest thing that could have happened to him was when he went to Houston. He sat on the bench.
I think that was great. I think Jeff Fisher's a great coach.
The Giants
Jeff
did
Fisher's
come
by-
off a bye week, though.
Jeff Fisher is by far one of the best young coaches in the NFL.
Him and Dave Weinstead are up there.
Up there with Tom Coughlin, too.
Where'd you pull
Tom
that out?
Coughlin's a tough guy.
Do we have a caller we can talk to? Hello?
Talk to each other, Mark.
Caller?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's going on?
How you guys doing?
Pretty good. How you doing, man?
Woo! Woo!
All right.
So what's going on?
You tell us. What's on your mind? In the
Oh,
world
no,
of sports?
we're chilling over here in Markley.
Yeah?
Watching the show, man. I love you guys, man.
What's going on in Markley?
We're just hanging out.
Yeah?
First floor Reeves, baby.
You thinking of us?
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, we watch you guys like madly. Like,
Thank
we
you.
watch the show
We
every
get
time.
that a lot. Thanks for your call.
No, dude, the show. We watch it every week.
Oh, you do really?
Yeah.
Did you watch it last week?
Huh?
Did
Definitely.
you watch it last week?
We're the fan club right here.
Are you serious?
Hell yeah.
Who's your favorite?
Look, guys, everybody else say hi to you guys. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, what's up? What's up?
Do you have a personal favorite sporting Jew?
What sports do you like the best?
Yes, I like the flag football fields right up there by North Campus.
Okay.
Not sporting field. Sporting Jew.
That's a nice field.
What's up to sporting Jews? Who do you like? Who do you like the best?
I think our guest today was just
I like tennis, yeah.
outstanding.
Tennis, all the way.
Tennis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the golf course, buddy? What do you think of that?
Tennis is a bomb, man. I used to play like tournaments and shit like that.
I used to take lessons when I was in 8th grade.
If you like tennis, you love badminton, buddy. You should try it. That shuttlecock. Great.
We don't condone that.
You're just looking pretty.
No, okay, well, we gotta go, though.
Okay, thanks
Well,
for
we
calling.
want you guys to know that you're being watched, you know.
We love you too.
People love you out here.
Yeah?
Just keep on doing what you're doing.
Spread the word. Spread the love.
Definitely. All right, peace.
Right on.
Peace.
All right, we got a fan club going. Call in 647-2641. Crazy stuff going on in Sporting Jews today. We've got fans we didn't even know existed. But hey, can't blame them. We are the Sporting Jews, and we are coming to you live from 9th floor in South Quad, talking about all kinds of sporting issues. We were talking about NFL, and we were talking about the Giants and the Oilers, if we can get back to that. I got a few opinions going my way. I don't know if the Giants are going to maintain this this level for the rest of the year. I think, they've shown some Yeah, don't they ever? I think they've shown some. I mean, they're definitely shown like a good team. I think they got a good running game and a defense, which I think was good last year too.
All I know is that David Way outrushed Barry.
Charles Way.
Oh, Charles Way.
Charles Way.
Yeah.
Charles Way. All the excitement in the show, I'm losing my concentration.
It's exciting.
Charles Way ran all over the Detroit Lions. I forgot who had the good running back when those two teams met a couple weeks ago.
No, well, it wasn't Tyrone Wheatley, that's for sure. I think he's one of the bigger busts in the NFL right now.
I mean, you can see it. I mean, Tyrone Wheatley, he doesn't run with vision. He's big and he's fast, but I really thought Biakova too would be a star.
I think right now he's looking fat and slow.
Hampered by injuries.
He really has.
That
but, I mean,
Fred Lane fella.
The Fred Lane fella is very impressive.
How about Fred Lane from Lane College? Like, I wonder how he must have gotten in. You know, probably didn't have to have good boards because college is named after
a
him.
million years of football, and there would never be another Fred Lane from Lane College.
No, never.
It's special. He's a special player.
He is.
I'm out to prove you wrong. I'm gonna change my name to Fred Lane and go transfer there, and then work every day to get to the NFL.
40 time, buddy.
Are you kidding me? I've got mad skills, and I love greens. Yo, Cashman and Dave, you guys are going with us next time. I want you to know that. Anyway, as far as the Giants go, I don't think they're going to keep it up for the rest of the year. I think that they put in a good run. I think they're going to be one of the teams to beat next year. I really do. I think that they're going to. In this game in particular, I think I'm going to go with the Oilers. Yeah, I think they're improving. And
Game's in Tennessee.
All 30 fans.
Yeah, they're going to play in front of
I'm taking.
10 Memphis.
There's no home field advantage.
That's fine. There is no home field advantage. Tennessee has proven to be a decent team this year, and they're well on their way to establishing their team for years to come.
Folks,
they have a lot of young talent.
Take the Giants.
Take the Giants with the points.
I'm taking the Oilers. Oilers
Tennessee wins.
at
They
the
win by a
SoCal.
field goal at best.
I like Evan McNair. I like Eddie George. Take the Giants with the points.
Take the Giants with the points.
I guess Jared wants you to take the Giants at the points. The other games on the schedule this week for the NFL, the big Monday nighter, San Fran at Philly. That's going to be an exciting one, I think. And if I could start out with this one, I think, and I said this a couple weeks ago in the Sporting Jews, that Philly still, I think, is going to make a run at it. I think they're going to improve. I really do.
Who's playing quarterback?
Well, that's the problem. They might come out with two of them at the same time. I think Detmer actually should be the guy. I really do. I think he's a decent back. Oh boy.
Not quite.
Both of them.
Ray Rhodes needs to stop juggling the quarterbacks. And you have to realize
It's pulling Wayne Fonts.
Philly has been a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde team. They're super at home, undefeated, and they haven't won a game yet on the road.
I think their first loss at home is going to be coming this Monday night.
No.
I like Philly at home.
I like Philly a lot too, but I think San Francisco is going to pull out all the stops.
Let's look at San Fran's schedule. I mean, I always look at who they have to play against, and the two best teams they've played have been Tampa, which they lost, and Dallas, which was a close one, in San Fran, and that's an average Dallas team. I think they're going into Philly on a Monday night in a hostile college rivalry. I like Philly.
I agree.
I like Philly as well.
Take Philly as a home dog.
You want inside information here, though, folks? You heard it here first.
I'm the Sporting Jews.
Ray Rhodes will be the next coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Mark my words.
Unless
North Turner wants to
sounds like inside info to me.
Unless he gets caught with a handgun in an airport.
I mean, smart guy. But I got to say I like Philadelphia on Monday night for all the reasons Blitz stated already. They're tough. Their D is tough, and
Ricky Wires is
they
sweet.
played San Francisco tough last year in the playoffs. They just kept on turning the ball over inside the 49ers territory. So I think it has come time to that weekly segment where we discuss the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh boy, that's my favorite. Let me ask you something, Sam. If I could ask you something about the Tampa Bay. Last time we talked about them, they were 5-0 or so. That was a few.
They went on a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah, they've been sliding since. Is Tampa? Are they a team that started the season 5-0, or are they a team that's just lost 3 in a row?
I definitely don't think the 5-0 start was indicative of how good this team was. They got a lot of breaks. They played phenomenal football the first 4 weeks. You can't doubt that. But the win against Arizona was luck. Kevin Butler won them the game, and since then they shouldn't have won the game on Sunday against Indianapolis.
No, shouldn't have.
Gave them the game.
I think they still got a long way to go.
Of course they still have a long way to go, but if they can gut out 3 more wins, maybe they can go to the playoffs, and that'll do big things for the franchise.
That would be great for the city of Tampa Bay.
With all their young talent, they have a great defensive talent, great coach, one of the best minds in the game, if not the best mind.
One for Tampa Bay right now is their secondary. Their secondary, made Kelly Holcomb look like a star.
Their secondary is very poor. They have one player in their entire secondary.
They made a third-string quarterback from Middle Tennessee State look like a superstar this weekend.
An ex-Barcelona Dragons,
An ex-Tampa Bay Buck as well.
An ex-Tampa Bay Buck.
Cut 3 times.
Who's this?
Kelly Holcomb.
You remember Kelly Holcomb from the World
He's
League.
the next quarterback for the Detroit Lions, Blitz. Don't laugh. This guy's good.
We'll
take anyone.
This guy
At
can
this
play.
point.
This Kelly Holcomb guy's
Dave
for real.
Brown included?
I mean, if Gus,
we'll take Dave Brown.
If Gus Farrar can start in this
I'll
league,
take
he's
anybody.
title.
Mitchell hasn't proven anything
Dave
to me
Brown,
this year.
Scott Mitchell debate rages
I do like Mitchell a lot. He doesn't know how to handle himself in the pocket.
Mitchell doesn't know how to handle himself anywhere.
Scott Mitchell.
Bottom line, that was a mistake picking him up from the start.
Well, the thing
I
about
don't think at the time I think it was a good move.
For Dan Marino.
no, Scott Mitchell actually had a great year. 95, he had an all-pro year almost. He threw for over 4,000 yards. The Lions' offense was clicking like one of the best.
I see them cutting Scott Mitchell and Stan Humphries coming in and being the Lions quarterback.
Wait, if they cut him, that still counts against him in the salary cap, and they're paying him some big bucks.
It's not guaranteed money in the
They just
NFL.
resigned him to a big contract.
ESPN's Chris Mortensen before he
So many
came.
sources.
He got all these.
Connections around the
Yeah,
world.
you heard it here first on the Sporting Juice.
We frequent the ESPN guys. They're good for information.
Sure, wonderful. Jason Kaplan out of ESPN. He's a quality guy. Gives
Yeah.
the inside scoop.
Michael Feig from CBS News Sports.
CBS News Sports.
He's helped us a great deal with our research.
A fine man. But I don't know.
We're all about plugs today in the Sporting Juice.
What about the Heisman Trophy?
Let's talk about the Heisman race a little bit.
Brad Shapiro.
Hey, and there's my vote for the Heisman right there.
I mean,
Should get all the votes, but won't.
that's all
Hey,
you need.
Unfortunately.
If you vote for the best athlete in college football, there's your
We
guy.
vote for Charles.
However, whoa, trippy.
What, I'm a candidate now?
Is that a dog in his arms? No.
Wow. Woodson is above this kind of comment share. Woodson he's a guy, he's on a little pedestal.
He's a flat-out star.
Nah, he's a human being. He happens to be a good player.
NFL.
Flat star.
The guy that I like for the Heisman, who gets no attention,
You're not-
the freak.
The
Randy
freak.
Moss out of Marshall.
The freak.
This guy got thrown out of Notre Dame. He got thrown out of Florida State.
If Randy didn't like
If you get thrown out of Florida State, then you're a
You'd be an
big
FSU.
jerk
You got a
off.
lot of trouble.
You got
got
problems
yourself in a
beyond
lot of
compare.
trouble.
Smoke weed. He's a phenomenal football player.
I said it once and I'll say it again, and this goes out to all of you who were watching a couple weeks ago. We do not at all condone smoking pot on the Sporting Juice show at all.
Randy Moss might.
And that's that.
Randy Moss.
I'll leave it at that.
Randy Moss might.
Tim Dwight, gentlemen.
Oh boy, here comes the Tim Dwight talk.
God,
He
Bubba.
probably smokes weed too.
Tim Dwight might smoke weed.
Hey, hey,
Whether
hey.
he smokes weed or not, the man can flat out play.
Tim Dwight can't play. Tim Dwight is the best cutter on a football
Oh, he's
field
got
that I've
great
ever
vision,
seen.
great
Great
speed.
vision. Great punt returner.
Great
returner.
speed.
That return against Michigan in the first half was terrific.
disgusting.
He was all over the field on that.
Yeah, we
punt
won the
return.
game, so we can talk about it. And he was very impressive.
What about Peyton Manning? Is the award his
Get him out.
to lose or what?
Get him
Peyton
out.
Manning
He's
is-
lost
He will
it.
not win the award this year.
He's not even the best player on
He will
his team
not.
right now. The Jamal Lewis guy's a player.
A lot of people are talking that, whoever wins this Michigan-Penn State game, if it's Michigan, an impressive performance by the defense, Woodson vaults to the top. If it's Penn State behind the running of Curtis Enis, maybe it's him.
Enos is a special player. It's, if we can stop Curtis Enos on Saturday, I really don't have much fear.
Enis is built like a Sherman tank, and it'll be
He really
the
is.
strongest test the Michigan defense has gone up against. But
Yeah.
I think they're up to the challenge.
Pepe Pearson's running nowhere if we can stop Enos this week. It's the true test. Cedric Irvin, he played all right in the first half.
I think Banks was a good test for Michigan's
I
defense.
agree.
They shut him down.
They really did.
They gave up
except that one run.
that 153-yard run. They vaulted him up to what do you have? 99 yards on the game.
But Banks and Enis are very different kinds of runners. Banks is a slasher. He gives the defense more opportunities to adjust. Enis is a power runner. He's just going to be.
Enos is NFL written all
I
over.
think
As is Banks.
we can expect them. We know how the Michigan defense is going to play now. We know they're going to step up, and we know they're going to play just as they have all year.
Michigan's
I
gonna
think what we
throw-
have to be concerned about is the offense. I think Greasy has to play within himself. I think that the offensive line has to step up. And that will be the key to the victory. I think we know what to expect from the Michigan defense now in Week 9, in their 9th game of the season. I think the key is Greasy.
We need
not
wide
trying to do too
receivers.
much.
We need wide receivers to make
I
plays.
mean, Ty Streets, if you're watching, you got to start catching some balls, buddy. I mean,
Please.
you are dropping
Please.
everything.
Their wide receiving core is dropping way too much.
Which
They
would I-
relied on their tight ends last year.
We need to start recruiting receivers to this school. Like, what
That's what they're working on.
Butterfield?
That's
Butter.
oh boy.
Butter has some potential.
Michigan actually has been focusing their recruiting on wide receivers. As far as when I'm talking about Woodson and the Heisman, I think a couple things need to happen. One, Michigan has to win the rest of their games and prove to be number one. and 2, he's got to play more on offense, which I think he's going to be, like we said, because Ty Streets,
He's the only guy who can
stinks.
stretch the field.
I think Carr realizes that. You've seen last week Woodson played a lot more downs on offense.
Yeah, I think they had to throw to him more.
What happened to the Ty Streets who made those plays against Colorado last year?
And also,
I thought he was going to be a star.
for Michigan
He's got
State,
2 dislocated fingers. I don't know if that matters or anything.
Lloyd Carr has been holding his offensive playbook close to the vest because their offense shows no imagination, and they have to throw some special plays Penn State's way. They have to have Woodson in there on offense.
If they're gonna throw the special plays,
Let me
they
ask-
have to do it early.
I was just thinking about something when you said that. Like the last game Michigan played against Minnesota, and even Michigan State, they were as ultra conservative as they come, right?
We had Woodson on the road.
I kind of wonder, and I mean this seriously, if Lloyd Carr isn't trying to pull out some kind of coaching genius and have Penn State plan their game around what Michigan's been doing the past 2 games and just come out and open it up with Woodson and with Tooman, with Campbell. I think you could see some surprises. This is a big game, and you could see some big things.
Is Tooman playing this week?
I think he'll be back. I think Clarence Williams will be back. Oh, yeah. Tooman's back. He just had the flu.
He is back. You will see
Eat some soup, Tooman. You'll be all right.
He's back. You will see Brian Greasy throw that bootleg out to the tight end 3-4 times.
The bottom line is this: if our receivers cannot get open, then they're going to concentrate on Tooman, and they're going to stick their cornerbacks one-on-one with star receivers, and we won't be able to throw the ball. So
Greasy's got to be effective.
As always, if Michigan can run the ball, they got a shot because the defense is going to keep them in the game. And,
I say put in Anthony Thomas early and run him often.
I love the A-Train.
Run him often.
Run the kid.
Run
the
If
kid.
you're watching, hit the hole harder, baby. Hit the hole harder.
Hit the hole harder. Hit the hole harder. I think Thomas is a great player. I think so. I think he's. I mean, it's amazing when you watch the Michigan team down the line. All these young players. All these young players on Michigan.
NYPD. Call in
Whatever you
A-Train.
want. You want anchovies, we'll get you
Tell us who
anchovies.
you think's going to win the game.
I wonder who he's going to pick the upset special. He's going to take Penn State. I think so. He knows something that we don't. I think if you look at Michigan and the players they got coming up, they're just going to keep getting better and better. They've been doing a great job with recruiting.
We got to stop recruiting so many quarterbacks.
No,
10 quarterbacks on the
that's the thing, though. They're
That's
gonna,
fine.
Yeah,
That's
they're
fine.
going to pick the one that's best. The other guys are going to transfer.
They're gearing up for the
You've
future.
seen it. Eric Boykins, who came here a few years ago, was supposed to be a star, and Ty Collins who kept playing, and so he transferred. That's what Michigan does. The same with basketball, too. You saw it with Albert White. You saw it with Bobby Crawford. Michigan gets in a lot of guys, and they don't all stick around.
Olivier St.
This is wrong.
647-2641. Give us a call. Give us a call, Colin. We got about 5 minutes to go.
Explain something to me, Mark. I just have a question. When Mokhtar Injai played at Michigan, his
Yeah.
name was pronounced Injai.
Yeah.
If he goes to North Carolina and all of a sudden he becomes Mokhtar Jai.
I think it's the southern drawl in North Carolina that
What the
makes
hell
it
is
sound
that?
that way.
What is Jai?
It's an identity crisis from
I don't know
Mokhtar.
what's going on.
He doesn't know. He forgets what
Mokhtar
team he's
really
playing
never
for
has
right
a
now.
feel for the game anyway.
Yeah, he knows like 30 different languages. Though. That's pretty impressive.
Can he play basketball is the real question.
He can
Yeah.
be my diplomat any day of the week. You know?
Those 7 languages in a quarter are going to buy Mokhtar a copy of the Detroit Free Press.
Yes, indeed it will.
We got about 5 minutes left in the show. We can run through the quick picks. We'll go around 647-2641. If you can fit in a call, it'd be great. I'd like to thank everyone's watching. I'd like to thank all our fans out there. And we'll run by all the crew in a second. But we'll get to our picks real quick right now, the ones we didn't pick. The Nebraska-Missouri game. Real quickly, I like Nebraska to win, but not to blow out.
Missouri
28 and a
plus
half.
28 and a half.
28 and a half.
Go
Missouri.
Go Missouri.
All over Tigers.
Yeah, I believe it's in Nebraska.
It's in Nebraska?
I believe so. I'm gonna take.
Take Missouri.
Yeah.
Missouri's playing good ball.
This is the best Missouri team since James Wilder.
Missouri's got a
Go
super
Missouri.
quarterback named Corby Jones, too. He's going to have a good day against Nebraska. It's going to be a closer game than people think.
I agree with that.
Who is
Take
this Scott
Missouri
Frost
plus
guy
28 and a half.
I'll take Missouri plus 20 and a half.
Any day.
The other football games, I think that's pretty much it.
Tampa Bay -3 at Atlanta. We never got up.
Oh, we got to go Tampa at Atlanta -3. I like Atlanta, to be honest. No offense to it. But I think Tampa's a hot and cold team. You don't know what's going to come out. I think Atlanta is a bad team as they are. I think they've pulled out some surprising games. I believe they are in Atlanta.
Mark, I disagree. I don't think it matters where the Atlanta Falcons play football. They're not a very good football team. Warwick Dunn and Mike Allstott are going to run all over the Falcons.
I think I think Atlanta's got an underrated defense though. They've got Chuck Smith is what he had he's leading the league in sacks. I'd look out for that. I think Atlanta's got more to offer than people might imagine. Though I do think I like Atlanta at least with the points.
I'll say this: if Atlanta wears their white uniforms and allows the Bucks to wear their red jerseys, the Bucks are going to cover.
Because they look like the 49ers?
If Atlanta wears the black
Pirates
jerseys,
of Peter
the
Pants?
Bucks have to wear the Peter Pants. Atlanta's going to cover. So it's down to that.
We know the Atlanta's be wearing the black jersey. So
That's also part. That's also
yeah.
part of the Sam Linsky visor theory.
It is.
Uniform.
I think it's a visor conspiracy. Chicago at Minnesota. Chicago getting 9 points. I gotta go with the Bears.
All over the.
I have to.
Bears.
You know what?
This Minnesota team might go to the Super Bowl.
This Minnesota team is one of the better teams in the NFL right now, but I'm just gonna go with my biases.
Plenty of people thought Randall Cunningham would be in.
North Carolina has emerged as one of the top quarterbacks in the league.
You can't
Jake
defend
Reed,
Jake
You can't
Reed.
stop.
You
He's
can't stop
6'6".
Jake Reed.
You're an
Chris
animal.
Carter just catches touchdowns.
That's all he does is catch
That's all
touchdowns.
he does.
You know,
I like Minnesota.
They do need a running game.
Chicago's
I don't know
the
if Robert
least
Smith's going to
talented
be
in
playing
the
this week.
he's hurt.
Is Robert Smith going to be out?
I think he's still injured.
He might be out. But John Randall, you're sick, baby. You're unbelievable.
John Randall is hysterical. John Randall, yeah. Williams is also, yeah, I think Minnesota's just got a great system going there. Many props to Denny Green.
Even though Dennis Green is going to buy out all the shareholders.
I don't know what Denny.
Will it save his job?
I think if he gets fired from Minnesota, he'll be the first coach taken of all the new coaches next year. He's been doing a great job in Minnesota.
I don't think NFL
Every
is
year.
likely to threat of being sued.
Well, that's worked out in the first meeting when they talk. I think Minnesota, every year people write them off saying, oh, they don't have it this year. They've lost so and so and so and so. Every year their defense is still solid. Robert Smith, even though he keeps getting injured, he's a great player. Brad Johnson's emerged, 2 of the best receivers in the NFL. Minnesota is playing some of the best football in the NFL right now.
I think they miss Fuad Reveiz and his leadership. In that
Wow,
team.
what if Minnesota, hypothetically, Minnesota and Denver meet in the Super Bowl? Finally, one of the 2 teams will get a Super Bowl victory.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Well,
It's not going to happen. I don't see anybody.
But you heard it here first on the Sporting Juice. If it does,
I don't know who's going to the Super Bowl from the NFC, but the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to the Super Bowl from the AFC.
we're gonna have a Sporting Juice Super Bowl party.
The NFC still is the dominant
Be there.
division.
Sporting Juice Super Bowl party coming in January. We're gonna all meet and have a great time. We got not that much time left to go. Before we take off and give our parting shots, as they say in the Sporting Report, I'd like to thank Dave McMahon, our producer, Andy Cashman, the president here, doing a great job. Matt Letzman, Kevin Fritz doing the job behind the cameras. Thank you very much. I'd also like to thank our special guests today, Jared Silver, Steve Bubba Geller.
Thanks for coming on, guys.
Pleasure having you guys today.
It's been a lot of fun.
Be sure to spread the news about the Sporting Jews. Once you know it, that rhymes.
All around the country.
Fine quality programming.
Quality programs for young kids everywhere.
Yeah, so I got one thing to say before we go, and we're talking about sportsmanship a little bit. And you look to these professional athletes as far as sportsmanship. These guys are in it for the money. They're not in it to be role models. If you want role models, look to your teachers, look to your parents, and by all means, look to the Sporting Jews. I mean, you can't find a bunch of classier guys right here. I mean, we are polite, we're sincere, we're knowledgeable, and we know our stuff.
And we're Jewish.
Are you trying to tell me guys like Allen Iverson, Isaiah Ryder, Keyshawn Johnson are in it for the money?
Well, I might be a little crazy. I'd have to say yes. We gotta wrap it up soon. We gotta wrap it up. Oh yeah, all right. So, as I said before we go, catch out the Shamari and Sean O'Neill show, The Dish, Nightly News, Night Spotlight, and the Michigan Football 97 show, Rob Reina's Dave Rosenbluth.
Public service announcement. If you're going to screw Charles Barkley in a bar, you're going to get your ass whooped, so don't do it.
That's what he's warned.
He said it to America, and just don't do it. Don't screw with the man, you know?
And he has a bodyguard now.
Unless you got the Sporting Jews backing you.
I'd say it's more of a babysitter than a bodyguard. Charles can't control his emotions.
All right, thank you very much for watching tonight. You can catch us every Tuesday, 11 to 12. We are the Sporting Jews.
See you next week.
See ya.